Good afternoon, and welcome to Afternoon Tea and the Achievery. My name is Jess, and on behalf of Connected Nation and AT&T, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Achievery, a free online platform created by AT&T and open to anybody who's looking for a little bit of extra something for their students this time of year. So grab your favorite drink. I've got some coffee here for us today. And let's dive into today's episode, which is going to talk about middle school minds. Middle schoolers are a unique form of child. They're dealing with a lot of different things personally in their life, but when it comes to learning, their span of knowledge really increases probably tenfold during the middle school timeframe. I was a middle school math teacher for a couple of years, and just the concepts that we bring to the table can be very overwhelming. And so sometimes our middle schoolers need a little bit of extra something to help them with concepts and also to encourage them to continue to grow that knowledge. So today we're looking at the Achievery, as you can see here on my screen. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to find content specifically for your little middle school minds who are looking to dive in a little bit deeper to some of the topics that they want to learn about, and also some of the topics that they may not want to learn about, but that's part of their journey, right? All right, so we're going to scroll down here to content areas. And today I think we're going to dive into technology and engineering. Technology and engineering. If we scroll on down here, just like in our last episode when we talked about elementary grade levels and being able to kind of filter our results to match those of the elementary students, we can do the same thing for middle school. Middle school typically ranges 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. May look a little bit different where you're from, but that's pretty much the standard. If we go to do this and select 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and go to apply selection on our screen, give it just a second, and it'll load, and we can scroll down. And here we're going to find content under the technology and engineering topic, right? Genre here, that's specifically designed for our middle school learners. So if we scroll down here, you're going to see some of these videos have a very wide range. Well, what does that mean? Well, this says, for example, create custom blocks, encompasses 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th through 10th, and 11th through 12th grade. Let's click on that. This is going to talk about 2 and 3D animation, and it kind of goes under that coding concept here, as well as some self-awareness and making decisions under the social and emotional learning. One of the things about Achievery that we've kind of touched base on before is how it layers our content areas. So sometimes, even though you're looking for something that's focusing on technology and engineering, like this, you're going to also get a little bit of extra in your video content. It's going to talk about how to make good decisions or being aware of your decision-making process. Things that pull a little bit more on that social emotional end. I think that's really important for middle schoolers, and I'm sure most of you would agree. That is definitely an age of a lot of emotions and a lot of social interaction, and learning how to regulate all of our feelings as we're moving around other people who are the same age doing the same thing. And so I really love that while we are going to talk about creating custom blocks and a coding and 2D and 3D animation, we're also touching base a little bit on some of the normal things that these middle schoolers are going to deal with. So if you scroll down, you do, of course, have your video. But if you click on that lesson plan, this is where we're going to see a little bit of a distinction that's going to help you out. So remember, we talked about, yes, we put in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for our content, but we pulled up something that went 6th grade through 12th grade. What does that mean? Well, it means that you have the ability, of course, to teach this type of material to any of those grade levels. It means that it's not super complicated, so our 6th graders can get it, but it's also involved enough that our 12th graders are going to be able to learn from it as well, especially if they're newer to the concept. If you look here, we've talked about the standards here at the top of the page that are covered under this specific content, and it is provided by Scratch, which is one of the content providers. It encourages you to watch the video, but this activity breakdown is where we're going to see a little bit more distinction depending on the age of your learner. And that's what's one of the benefits of these lesson plans, is it allows you, the educator, the outreach coordinator, the teacher, whether it be in a classroom or in your home because you're a homeschool parent or doing an after school program, whatever it is, whatever role you play to help these children learn and expand their knowledge, you get to look over this material and customize it to fit your learner. So to fit that age group of your 6th and 7th graders, or maybe an 8th grader, or if you'd like to use it for high school, there is also that option, because it can go and get a little bit more advanced as you go, for your older kids. So there's a little bit of flexibility in this lesson plan content, and allows you to have the opportunity to build on it for those who need a little bit more, but also keep it on more of the shallow end if we're dealing with really early learners in this content type of area. So we're going to pop back over here. And just like before, we're going to try to do one grade specifically. So let's just do 6th grade. Apply our selection, scroll down. Again, you're still going to see anything that's going to include 6th grade. So this may be 6th and up, or as you'll see down here, there's some contents that are below the 6th grade level as well. Again, not everybody who is in 6th grade learns on a 6th grade level. And so these videos, this content that kind of spans over multiple grade levels, allows for the flexibility of learning for your students, no matter how they learn. All right, looks here like we've got some more that are specific, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for our middle schoolers. Awesome. Really easy to sort and filter through. Now, I'm not going to go all the way back to the home page. What I am going to do is select 6th, 7th, and 8th grade again, but now I really want to learn about social emotional learning opportunities and content. So instead of the technology and engineering from this page, even though I already dove into technology and engineering, I can switch over to social emotional learning and filter through my results that way. We're going to apply our selection. And as we talked about, middle school can be a very difficult time for students, but it's also a time of excitement, adventure, and really learning about who we are, self-discovery, right? So a lot of the content here, especially under the social and emotional learning content subgenre, is going to include things that really target that growth, but also those stressful times through middle school. A lot of really cool opportunities here. Most of these are going to be related back to, again, that layering we talked about with the Achievery. They're going to be related back to a specific educational content area. But then I gotta find it. Here we go. But then we can get into some like this far left here, social media and you, for 7th and 8th graders. Now, this is a little piece here put together by Cyber Civics, and it's going to talk specifically about digital citizenship and being strong, smart digital citizens. Elementary school, we're already introducing computer and probably some form of social media to the students in one way, shape, or form, even if they're just playing against each other on things like Roblox and Khan Academy and Bottle. But when we get into middle school, this is where we see a huge rise in the use of social media amongst these young people. And it's really, really, really important that these kids know how to navigate safely and the do's and don'ts of using social media. And so this content has a series of videos that talks a little bit about ways that the media can kind of mislead you and manipulate you and how to be aware of it, but also things that you can do as a person that are meaningful and that will show that you matter, and how you can be a strong, positive digital citizen. And of course, just like with many of these content videos, they include lesson plans to dive deeper in with your students to have those discussions. I find that these are really great for our counselors, our school counselors who are looking to do content in different classrooms all across their school, to be able to use these videos as kind of like a lead in to a content, and then the lesson plans to have the students then discuss or go into more depth about how they can be good digital citizens. What are some things that they should be looking out for on social media? What are the risks? What are the benefits? And really get those young minds thinking about this new avenue that they're going to be taking, right? It's a form of communication and transportation all in one, because their minds are being transported to places they wouldn't be able to go usually. And so we want to make sure that they're doing so with the right set of tools to guide them correctly through that path. All right. So again, middle school, there's a lot of different content on here to include both that strong social and emotional learning, but also as well as our key content areas like math and engineering and literacy. So be sure to dive in and explore as much as you want. If you have any questions, remember you can always send me an email at jgolson, GOLSON, at connectednation.org. And I'll be happy to answer any of the questions you may have or help you with your navigation through the Achievery. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hope you learned a little bit and hope to see you next week when we talk a little bit more about how to use this after school in your after school programs and to get your students engaged. Have a great time. See you next time.